Welcome to the Furious Tutorial, gang. I wasn't really going to do this. I just decided what the hell. I'm putting together a video right now. I might as well just film a quick tutorial that might help some people out. I'm just going to take you through the basics of what I do to get a video ready. And then also solve what I had as a major problem, and maybe you have it too, and that's creeping of audio between face and microphone. So basically they'll start out synced, and then by the end of it, you look like you're in a Kung Fu movie talking. So let me show you how I fix that personally. And if any of you can help me and fix why that's even happening in the first place, I would be, happy to hear it. But so let's just start with the basics. I've already pulled in the video files I'm going to use. You'll notice here I use Sony Movie Studio Platinum 13, which is basically a baby brother to Sony Vegas. It has everything I need. There's some bells and whistles that it doesn't come with, like masking and stuff like that, which would be nice, but I don't really need that. So this is perfect for, if you're just starting out and it's good value. If you find it on sale, you can get it for maybe 50 bucks sometimes. But usually somewhere around 70, 80, or if you want to pay a little more, you can get a whole suite of products. Just go check it out, Movie Studio Platinum. It works really well. So you'll see here, I've created myself a template where I've added extra tracks because this is the workflow that works for me. So I have audio and video, or video and audio for game, video and audio for my face, and audio for my microphone. And then I have some effects things if I want to add like extra text or bells and whistles and that kind of thing. And I have a music track here. So what I basically do is I pull in my game video first. Let me just drop that in there. This is a very long game video. This is our episode 4 of Life is Strange, which is coming hopefully tomorrow. Of course, it won't be tomorrow by the time you see this video. So that one took a little while to import, and I'm going to pull in my face. So basically, you just take these from your folders, wherever they reside on your computer, and just drag them in to the timeline, or you can drag them in up here. Switches. I go to disable resample on the video. What resampling does is it basically will try to, if it needs to, it'll kind of help create extra frames, or it'll kind of try to, how do I want to say this? It'll almost try to transition each frame into the next. And with gameplay, it can actually end up looking kind of smudgy and blurry. So we like to disable resample. That was just a right click, switches, disable resample. So I do that on all of them, and there's probably an equivalent on, other softwares like Premiere or whatever. I just don't know what it's called because this is what I use. So what I do from there is I need to sync these things up. So me personally, I got this little preview window over here. I like to crop my face cam because right now you can see my face is covering the gameplay completely, which isn't useful. So I go over to this pan and crop tool. And I don't think I just explained that very well. It's down here. Basically, you select, and let me do that again. You select the video file you want, and you do the pan and crop tool. And now this will allow me to do some things. Now, I've also set up some templates here under presets so that I don't have to redo this every single time. And face cam placement is my generic on the left placement. You'll see I have some extras here like face cam right, flipped. I had a whole one just for dust because it had to be in a very specific place. Guts and glory. So you'll see I have some different things. So face cam placement. And then for me, I had to do a cookie cutter, Sony cookie cutter. And this is what chops down my camera. Instead of being a full 16:9 camera, I can make it smaller. Face cam left. All right. And you can see I'm a little off center there. So and depending on where I sat when I recorded, this can happen. So I go down here to the pan and crop again. Let me scroll out a little bit. So you can see here that this square is basically the entire screen. And so this is where I am relative to the entire screen. So this little thing here is just the move in the y-axis only, move in any direction you want to move freely, or x-axis. So just to make sure my head doesn't move, I'm going to use put it on x-axis only and just move it over a little bit. See how I'm moving over? I can go, woo, I can move myself way over. So I just try to put myself in the frame there. And then what I will do sometimes too is I will just go and check myself like somewhere else in the video and just make sure I didn't like shift while I was recording or something like that. And that is that. So back to the beginning. So now I feel like I'm where I need to be in the face cam. So next I need to sync myself up with the gameplay. So let me just scroll down to give myself a room. So what I do is I like to make this nice and fat so I can see the audio waveforms, because this is my voice down here doing stupid voice stuff. And you'll see over here, after you do this for a while, you start recognizing where you are, and you actually recognize your own voice and what you're saying based on waveforms. It's really freaking weird. So this should be near where I begin my sync up.
We are on continue. We're going down. We're going.
Can you hear me? Let me mute the game. So, because I don't need to hear that right now. I just need to see it. Oops, too far. Too far. Okay, so
1, 2, 3.
Okay, so let me go back. So I like to say where we're at.
We are on continue. We're going
Okay,
down.
so we're on continue.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, so you see I'm trying to sync up.
We are on continue. We're going down. We're
Okay,
going.
and I basically move
1.
right when I say 1. So that's where I'm saying 1. So right after I say 1, I like to put the timer there, or the timeline marker, the marker. Let's call it the marker there. So now I'm just going to go ahead and trim. So you see if I highlight the front of this, it says trim event, and I can literally just click that and drag it, and it'll erase whatever's happening at the beginning. I can get it back just by doing undo, edit undo, or Control Z. So now I've got some space to shuttle back. So you'll see right here, we're on continue. So I just need to grab this here and literally pull it back until I see it pop down to play episodes. There we go. See how it moved? Boom. Let's see. 1. Okay. Because I like to do this I like to say it several times to make sure I'm synced up. So let's just see how that looks.
We're on continue. We're going down. We're going 1, 2,
2,
3.
3.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
That looks pretty good to me. And then the clap.
1.
Okay.
Right.
And some of you may know, and some of you may not, that clap is really important for this next step, which is I'm going to go pull in my mic audio. Because this audio we're seeing here is from the webcam. I record my webcam and the webcam audio via OBS. And I record my microphone with Audacity. And I record my gameplay with Shadowplay when I can. Sometimes I got to use OBS for that as well. There's some games that just don't play well with Shadowplay. And that's fine. In that case, I just use the Logitech webcam for my face and the Logitech webcam software for my face and OBS for the game. I guess you might be able to use 2 copies of OBS, but I might be talking out of my ass, so don't quote me on that. So that's synced up. I'm going to go over here. I usually put it on my second monitor, but I'll pull it over here so you can see it. So I've got my Life is Strange audio right here. Some people probably hate me for using MP3, but you know what? It's smaller and no one has complained yet. So let me drop that onto my mic audio track. Let me move this back out of my way. Okay, and I can just click here to go back to the start. Okay, now you see the 3 hours, it's taking some time to build that in. So I will be back with you when this is done loading. All right, so that is done loading in. And you'll see, so if I can use the scroll wheel to zoom the timeline in and out. See, I can make it smaller, or I can make it bigger. It's useful. So a lot of this audio I don't need. So let me just erase a bunch of this. And then you'll see how there's a big spike here? You'll see a similar spike here on this audio. So let's go ahead and move that. So if I want, I can make this bigger as well. So you'll see that spike. And I didn't give myself enough room, so let me delete some more. Okay, there we go. So now I can kind of line these up. And this is one of the reasons despite slower rendering times, so I can get this to the spot where it's about clapping. I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty small. But what's cool is I have this button here, and what this does is this video preview on external monitor. So I have a full-size screen version of this little window. I'm pointing at it like you can see it. I have a full-size screen of this window on my second monitor so I can see what I'm editing more closely. So back to what I was saying. What I like about this is that when you expand these waveforms out, so you see how I'm trying to line up these 2 spikes. Let me spike it. But as you expand these waveforms out and make them longer and longer and longer, they stay very clear. So you see, here's the beginning of the clap. So I want to pull this in as close as I can. And kind of try to line these up start for start. And the peaks won't look exactly the same because the way the microphone from the face cam and the mic, the mic is closer to me than the face cam microphones. So they won't quite line up, but you can see that's pretty close. Here's a spike, here's a spike, here's a spike, and about where it starts. So now we're going to listen to it. Now both of these tracks are going to play together. The face track and the mic track are going to play at the same time. So what that means is that if we're off, we'll hear kind of an echo. So let's see. We are on continue. We're going down. We're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Going 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that sounded pretty good. I heard no echo. So now if I mute this track and I just play some of this.
1, 2, 3.
You can see
1,
I'm
2,
still
3.
right on
3,
track,
2, 1.
which is beautiful. Now, on to the trouble point. Let me put this back on. Let's go to the end here. I'm going to actually mute the video as well, just because I don't want any spoilers. I don't know what we're going to see over there, and we don't need it for this part anyway. So now, if we go to the video and we play the end, let me make sure.
Furious, my friends.
Then, stay furious, my friends.
Okay, so there we go.
Stay furious.
There's Stay Furious, my friends, on the webcam audio.
Stay furious, my
And
friends.
there's Stay Furious, my friends, on the microphone. How in the hell, over the course of 3.5 hours, did the microphone end up off by, what is that? Almost a full second. What is that about? That's not right. But I do have a way to fix it. So I'm going to go over here to the end of this and say trim, because I don't need this space. What I do need is room to line this up. So what I do here is I go to the part I want to line up. Usually I start with the Stay Furious, my friends, just because it's a nice solid phrase to figure out. Oh, wait, you know what? That's
Stay furious, my friends.
Actually, you know what? Maybe we'll start with here, my friends. We'll start with but until then. So I don't know. I'm off my game. Okay, we'll do it there. But I need some space to do this. So what I do here, so this is the but until then. Let's just prove that. I can just tell from looking at it, but until then,
Stay furious, my friends.
Until then. So that's way off. That is probably 2 seconds off. That's craziness. Craziness, I say. Okay, so let's put this here, right at the beginning of that. So there's a little bit of a space there. I can move it in. Let's do it there. So what I can do here is, if I hover here, it says trim event end. But if I hold control, it says time stretch. So what this will do is I can drag this to where I need it, and it will basically make slight alterations across the entire timeline and stretch it out to make the audio be basically this length. And since we're only talking about a second or two, it's so small that it doesn't make any major changes to like your pitch or anything like that. I'm zoomed pretty far in. And so now the idea here is to get this to where we don't hear much echo if we can handle it. But until then,
Stay furious, my friends.
So there was a slight echo there, but you know what? If we take it off and listen to it again. But until then,
Stay furious, my friends.
let me wind it back a little further. Oh, and let's do it again. But until then,
Stay furious, my friends.
so again, I don't know how well you can see that. I have the full version over here, but you'll see that I'm pretty well synced up there. So then I just go to this track, which I no longer need. Well, you know what? Let me go to the front, turn it back on, and just sort of prove to you that we're still good to go.
Welcome to the Fury, my friends.
So
I'm the
both
Antagonist.
playing.
You are you, and together
real
we
echo.
really kind of fucked things up.
Okay. I still swear, so there's still that as a problem. So that's good. One thing I tried to touch on earlier when I was doing this, and I mentioned it a bit, but I don't think I mentioned it well enough, is that I like the fact that when I was trying to line up these claps, you can still see these lines really, really well. They get very thin, and you can really tell where things line up. In some of the other software I've tried, that kind of got moved a little bit off with the stretch. Interesting. With some of the other software I've tried, like Power Director and even Premiere Pro, to be honest, when you stretch those waveforms out, they're very pixely and very blocky, and I find them more difficult to line up. And more importantly, as you drag them, I can't go back, but you may have noticed that when I was dragging, you can still see the waveforms. So you can try to line them up. When you try to drag them in Premiere or Power Director, the whole bar moves, but the waveforms disappear while you're moving it. So what is the point of that? Now, they have other good tools in those programs to sync it up automatically by software. Like you can compare this file to that file, and it'll actually find similar sounds and sync it up for you. But I don't know. It's not always perfect. And personally, I would like to be able to just at least have the ability to move things around easily if I can. Okay. I feel like I'm talking too much. So now that we have got this all synced up, we don't need the track from the facecam anymore. So we're just going to delete that entire track. Boom, gone, done. History, toast. All right, I'm just resizing that back down to what I'm used to. Okay, Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, and then what I like to do is go to the end of the file, find my last little, oh wait, sorry, then I have to select everything, select each thing, and if I hit G, I can group them all together. So now everything moves as one unit. Fun, right?
Stay furious, my friends.
Okay, then I give my little stay furious nod.
Furious, my friends.
Nod. Fucking doofus. And then I use S to split that, which basically just splits the track, and you notice all these are highlighted. I can just hit delete, and they be gone. They be gone. I can hit Control Z to bring them back if I want, but I don't know why I would want to do that. Okay, so those are gone. So that's the end of the video done. I go to the beginning now, and I find my intro, which again, you can pretty much tell that this was all me syncing up and a bunch of bullshit, and then you can kind of see where the video starts properly, right? So then we go down here.
Welcome to the Fury, my friend.
And I just find where my face looks the least stupid, or the most stupid, depending on who you ask. Looks like I'm blowing a leprechaun.
Welcome to the Fury, my friends. I am the Antagonist.
Perfect. Leprechaun blowing.
Welcome to the Fury, my friends. I am the...
Looks good. We split there. We get rid of the front. We done. We in there, yo. And I just drag the whole thing back to the beginning. And we in there. And there we go. So now I've got a perfectly synced up gameplay, face, audio, ready to go. And once I have that, I will go up here and I will do a save as, because I want to keep my template, right? And then I will just save that as the next Life is Strange. Life is Strange. Oh, that's right, I'm naming these by their actual name, as opposed to saying just 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 4, and it is called Dark Room. Life is Strange Dark Room. We'll save that. Boom, and now we're there. My template is saved, and we have everything we need to do to get editing this in earnest. I'm obviously not going to sit here and edit the whole video with you, but hopefully that helps somewhat, especially the trick with the audio. And again, if someone out there knows why my audio is doing that in the first place, let me know. Hit me up. That would be great. So that'll do it for this kind of on-the-fly tutorial. That gives me one whole video, and from here I go and make my chops and edits and add things if I need to. Those of you following the Life is Strange series know I don't do much editing in this, except for maybe time if it takes me too long to do something. There's not a lot of bells and whistles in this because it's a really good story, and we're just enjoying that story together. But thank you for watching this tutorial, and if you did enjoy it, let me know in the comments down below, and let's do it again. But until then, stay furious, my friends.